Hello viewers and welcome back to another episode here of BMW Engines. So before we go any further guys, thanks ever so much for hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell. The subscriptions are going back up, so yeah, if you haven't already, please guys, just press that subscribe button and the notification bell and you'll be notified whenever we put up a video. Moving on, I hope you all had a great weekend. I was pretty busy. We went down to Exeter on the Saturday to take my wife's Mercedes to be serviced, first service. Then yesterday, Sunday, didn't really have any plans. But I sort of had a look on Facebook early in the morning and noticed about an hour and 20 minutes away, hour and a half away, there was a car show. So I jumped in the van with a couple of relatives and my little 3-year-old son to give his first car show experience. And we headed on down there. Going to be honest, went down there in the hope of maybe seeing some sort of trackified E30. Now, I know there's so many cars out there that people are going to choose over an E30, but just in the hope of seeing one. As soon as I pulled into the car park there was an E30, a black one, although it was a road-going one, so I thought, fingers crossed, we live in hope here. You know what it's like, guys, when you're buying stuff off the net, it's all right looking at pictures, it's all right sort of imagining what it would be like, but it's only really until you see it in the flesh, you know what it's going to look like on the vehicle or get a good idea. So we've wandered around. There was an indoor and outdoor section. We wandered around the outdoor. There's hundreds of cars, not one E30, quite a lot of BMWs, but not one E30, until we walked through into the indoor bit. And the first car on the left, guys, was something like this. As you can imagine, I stood there with my mouth open. My father-in-law was with me. He looked at me, he was like, I can't believe that. It's even the same colour, and it's Inca orange. So yeah, absolutely made up. It was a left-hand drive, so whether it was an original M3, obviously probably slightly better than what ours is going to be. What it was like underneath, I don't know. It had 18-inch BBSs with centre locks, so you know the guy had chucked some money at it. But most of the other stuff was pretty much as we're going to have it, especially internally. So it was running a fuel tank in the spare wheel well. One thing he did do, he's cut all this out here. So you can see where our cage comes in and meets the rear strut tops there. He had removed all that parcel shelf and all that, so it was running right through. So I really like that idea, although we're sort of unsure on whether we're going to go that route yet. Now I've seen that. I had a little chat with Stuart this morning and he seems to think it's probably be a better idea if we're going to paint the whole car, which we definitely are. We'd just have to, once we remove that, we'd just have to do a bit more bracing and maybe sort of weld in a bit more of addition to the cage, but definitely going to be painting the inside of this thing orange. He had it all orange and black. He did have a carbon dash, but obviously his was a left-hand drive. Can't seem to find the carbon dash in the right-hand drive, but I'm quite happy with the flock dash, to be honest. But yeah, I took loads of photos, guys, of every nook and cranny, sort of on how he's done things. He was running the battery in the back, actually, which I don't think we're going to do. We're going to be probably running it sort of behind the driver's seat. But just little touches like that we're going to change. But everything else externally looked to be exactly the same. So yeah, don't know what you think about the colour, but I absolutely love it. Not sure about the Jägermeister graphics. Don't know whether I'm going to go to that extent. But he had the same window kit in there as us. So yeah, it was really nice to see one in the flesh. He was running a V8 actually with a sequential box. We're obviously not going to go that far, but no, as far as looks go and the sort of styling of the car internally and externally, more than happy, guys. Absolutely made my weekend. But yeah, let me know what you think about that colour. Right guys, second job of this fine Monday morning. We've got the liner for this big 3-cylinder, I think it's a Ford 4000, this is tractor. You can see how big these pots are. What I was doing was waiting until I get the liner to see what the outside diameter is, so we know what interference to run this thing. So basically these things have got liners in already. What I've done is removed one of the liners. It's got a crack in it all the way, well, nearly all the way down. sort of stopped about 1 inch from the bottom, but we've obviously got to put a new liner. Now, this one here, fortunately, comes at 30 thou plus on the outside diameter. So that means we've got to remove the old liner, which I've done. That has peeled out, see down the back there. And usually on these tractors, especially when it's had a crack, the housing of the block can distort. So that's why they do a plus 30 thou. So I've just done a 20 thou cut here, and it's not actually cleaning all the way around. So I'm a little concerned by that. But what I might have to do is set it up in a minute and just hone it, and hopefully it sort of comes true. But yeah, if it doesn't, then we're going to have to scratch our head and maybe get a liner made for it. But we're halfway down. Let's see how it comes out in a minute. Right, guys, 2 or 3 videos back, I can't remember what it was now, when we did the thumbnail about maybe BMW Main dealer got this wrong. Although I did say in the video this wasn't an accusation, until we obviously get on, we're not sure. But you can see here Paul has got the cylinder heads on the BMW, and he's got the timing cover all on the front there with the chains on, etc. Although, albeit they're all loose. We did get those 2 shouldered bolts that hold the guide rails on from BMW. Now these are the uprated bolts that are meant to go with the guide rails that I give them the part number for, and they apparently they are the correct ones, so they're the same as the ones that come out. So it must just be a little bit of a prick in a bucket fit really, which seems odd to us, but that is what's meant to be in there, guys. So so be it. That is what's on there. Now all that's left to do now, you can see here Paul has got the oil pump on with the pickup and all the rest of it. Mark at Paddock Motors, who this engine is for, has very kindly come in. He's picked the BMW 6-cylinder up that I put the liner in, and he's very kindly dropped some information off and the timing kit by the looks of it for this V8. So I think Paul's in on Thursday, so hopefully we can get this thing pretty much done then, guys. I'm not sure whether we can get this on. It was probably a little bit early days to say that they shouldn't have been like that and they fit the wrong bolts, but there we go. You wouldn't have thought it, but yeah, seems to be the way it is. Right, I don't know whether you can see, guys, but up there we have what looks like guttering, but that is in fact the 2 new sills to go onto the E30. So the bits are coming in, guys, slowly but surely. Now there was 2 reasons for putting new sills on. This side, which is the driver's side, isn't too bad at all. And to be honest with you, you'd probably get away with that. I mean, this is all going to be covered up by the body kit anyway. But the main reason is we do want to put sill stands in there and do it, you know, like a proper race car. We want all this lip down here looking nice. And we don't really know what's behind here. So we're just going to take it out, get a nice fresh sill on, and obviously still inside the door. This is all a bit battered, so for how much they are, we may as well start from scratch. But if we have a look around here, the passenger side, this one's particularly bad. So you see down here where it is all battered. Like I say, you're not going to notice it because the kit's going to be on, but I know it's there. But all this down here looks a bit shoddy, a bit crap. But we've sort of come to a conclusion as why that's like that. I think that's had a good old dent in it at some point. You can see someone's punched a blooming hole through there to push the sill back out. So obviously that new sill that we bought goes right the way up to here. So that's all going to be nice and fresh. So that was the main reason for buying the pair, guys. But that is going to be a job for Mikey Dove. So guys, we bored this bore out to the plus 30 thou liner, and it hasn't cleaned at all, to be honest with you. Because the crack is on this inside here, I'm not sure whether it's frost damage or what, but it has misshapen it, and it's sort of pushed the bore back inside the actual block. So fortunately, they do a plus 100 thou liner. Unfortunately, we've got to send this liner back. John's already ordered it and we've got it. So this part number here is the original liner. And you can see the outside diameter is 4.5052. So plus 100 onto that would be 4.6052. So we're going to have to bore it. You bore it to this. See, it's plus 0 but minus 1. So we've got to go to 4.6047, but I'm just doing my last cut now, so this is going to leave 10 thou in, and I'm going to wait until that liner arrives just to measure it to clarify that. But it is looking like this is clean, but only just. It's about 70-80 thou before it's completely clean, so that bore in there was totally misshapen. We'll wait for that liner, guys, and go from there. So I did say this was the second job of today. The first job of today was, you see here, we've got the 6-cylinder BMW head. I have took that outside and I've spent a good 3/4 of an hour thoroughly cleaning that. I've took out all the oil gallery bungs, whether they be threaded or what. Took out absolutely everything I can, all the plugs, and I've thoroughly washed it through, blew through all the oil ways. There's quite a few oil ways actually that go through into these hydraulic lifter carriers, and obviously the holes that go through to lube the cams. So I've had to be very, very thorough. But as you can see, I've put the new stem seals in, ground all the valves, cut the seats, and put those all in. Obviously the head's been refaced, so that head now has got all the springs on underneath. You can see that. They all vacuum absolutely bang straight in. So that head now is ready to go back onto the block, but not until we're still waiting for those blooming mains and big end bolts from BMW. I think they've got the big ends, but the mains are coming from Germany. So as soon as we get that, guys, we can I shall get those in, torqued up, and then I'll turn it over, get the head on, and that is the majority of the head of the engine sorted then. Well, thanks ever so much for watching today's episode, guys. Until Wednesday, please, like I say, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you then. Cheers, guys.